This is Roger Smith of the True Blue Lounge, and my guest today is Helen Macdonald. Helen Batty Macdonald. I've known Helen for over 42 years. We met at the Merchant Navy College in Greenhithe, Kent, when I started my career as a trainee radio technician in 1984. Helen is a mother, grandmother, wife, entrepreneur, engineer, daughter, so many. But anyway, without further ado, here is Helen Macdonald. So, hello, Helen. Thanks for joining.
Hi. You're welcome.
All right. So, how long has it been, do you think? What year did we start our journey in our careers at the Merchant Navy College in Greenhithe, Kent? What year was that? Was it 84?
It was 17th of September 1984.
Wow, the fact that you and Lindsay remember that, it's just amazing. It was 84. Wow. So I don't know if you knew that 4 years before that, I was living in Jamaica because that's where I went to high school.
All right.
Wow. So Helen, how did that job come about for you?
Back in the day, we used to have careers officers at school, and I hadn't got a clue really what I wanted to do. I really wanted to be a maths teacher, but I didn't really fancy the teaching part of it, if that makes sense. Maths was always my thing at school. And I happened to mention engineering to the careers advisor, and she said, girls don't do that. So I was like, girls are doing that. And that was why, if she hadn't said that, I would never have done it.
So how did you see the job advert in the Evening Standard? It was the Evening Standard, wasn't it? Or was it
Well, I got it through the careers office. We were sent from our school. We were sent to have an interview with the careers advisor in the local careers office in Walthamstow.
Okay.
And it was during that he gave me the advert.
Okay.
Yeah, I applied through him.
So Helen, if I remember right, you had more of an Irish accent when I knew you first.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you kind of traded it in for this kind of inferior one, eh?
Yes.
The Irish. So yes. It's actually noticeable to me because I'm thinking,
okay.
Because it's weird when you remember people from a long time, you kind of remember certain things. So I remember there was a cadence, a song in your accent.
Right. Yes.
Funnily, you may or may not know this. But if you go to some Caribbean countries that had Irish indentured consultants from back in the time, you will realize that the Caribbean people picked up that cadence from the Irish.
Right. Yeah. Like a lilt.
Yeah. And certain pronunciations and stuff like that. I think there was a term, there's lots of little terms like Gansey, meaning something to do with some shirt you put on or whatever, but terms that you guys would use and stuff. So so you see that I noticed that then, yeah? All right. So when you were the only girl, because me and you were the onlys, yeah. I was the only handsome young man, and you were the only girl. Yeah. So what was it like, being in this group of 50? Was it 15 guys?
I think there was 15. Yeah. I think so.
What was that like for you?
It's really hard.
Don't you think they could have at least even had 3 or 4 girls?
You would have thought. I mean, there wasn't even very many girls in the whole college. There was probably about 5.
Yeah.
And they were all much older than me. They were all, I was only 16.
Right.
So they were all 18, 19, 20, which is only a couple of years, but it feels a lot when you're only 16 and away from home.
Wow.
So I felt very isolated, actually. Yeah.
And you know what was funny? You didn't have anyone to sit down and talk to. It was
no, nothing.
You were a grown up straight away,
Yes. Yeah. In with a load of men.
I was thinking about something yesterday before this chat, and I wanted to ask you because I can't remember for the life of me. How do we wash our clothes?
We had a laundrette in the bottom of, I think it was on the ground floor of your dorm block, block. Yeah, there was a laundrette.
For some reason, I don't remember it. So I'm thinking I may have been one of them guys that used to bring clothes home to get
Oh,
them
quite
washed.
possibly. Most of the guys did.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I
Yeah.
don't remember. And I'm like, I'm sure I weren't wearing the same clothes for 6 months at a time. What, how is this happening? So, okay, okay. So, where were you born, Helen, and where are you living now? And just rough areas.
So I was born in Norfolk in England.
Oh,
My
gosh, you're
dad
in
was in the RAF.
English.
Yeah, yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But we moved to Germany when I was 6 months old. My dad
Okay.
was stationed out there. And then we moved to Belfast when I was one. So that's where
Okay.
the Irish accent came from. So I lived in Belfast, just outside Belfast, till I was 13. And then we moved to Walthamstow. And
Okay.
then I met Lindsay and we moved around London for a little bit and then we ended up here
Okay.
in
Okay.
Scotland.
And up here in Scotland.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Are you north of Glasgow?
And we're to the east of Glasgow.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, right along the sort of the M8 corridor.
Okay. I wouldn't even know what a bloody M8 is. Us Londoners, the M1, and then if you're lucky, we'll say the M6. That's like what,
Yeah, yeah,
Manchester or whatever.
yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. And nowadays, to drive to London from Glasgow, how many hours are we talking about?
Probably about 6 or 7.
And it's not even 300 miles, is it? Or is it
No,
about?
no,
Oh,
no.
wow. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
it takes quite a
traffic.
while. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. Yeah,
Wow, wow, wow.
yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. So I just want to find out some things about you so what's your
Yeah.
drink of choice, Helen?
During the day, it's a cup of tea, milk, and a sweetener.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. In the evening, it's a glass of white wine. I like New Zealand Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. Quite
Okay. So
cheap.
you buy it by the dozen, do you?
Absolutely.
All right, all right. Is it what sort of wine? Oh, you called it. It had that nice French name. Could you pronounce it again? Something Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah.
Oh, right, right. I wouldn't
But
even I
I
wouldn't even
only
try
like
butchering it.
I like the New Zealand one rather than the Chile. I like that sort of area. But anyway,
Okay, okay.
just
And as a meal, what would be your favorite if your husband was taking you out for a slap up meal? What would be your choice?
oh, I do like a good steak, but I do like Italian
Okay.
pasta. Yeah.
Steak cooked how hot? Are we talking about medium?
Yeah, medium to well done.
Okay. What is it about English people and well done steaks? Because in the States, it's like medium rare and, it's supposed to
I don't
melt in
like
your
to
mouth.
see, yeah, I don't like to see the blood in it.
Okay, okay. Someone said it's not actually blood, but it looks like blood. But some
Yeah,
people say,
yeah,
yeah, that.
yeah,
Okay. And do you
yeah.
cook? And does your husband cook?
I cook now that he's been ill. As a whole, no, I don't cook. I have
Okay.
a couple of meals that I do, and that's it. I always do Christmas dinner.
Okay. Nice, nice.
That's about it. He
So,
cooks.
so as a young lady, when you were looking for a husband, were you looking for an equal or are you looking for a protector provider? And the reason I ask this now is because nowadays people are so different. There's a lot of women that not want to be, that say we're equal or they want to be in an equal relationship. So how do you see it?
I think it should be an equal relationship, but not to the extent where I don't mean like I do half the chores, he does half the chores, I pay half the money, he pays half the money. I mean equal in respect in a relationship.
Okay.
And I think as you go through I mean, we've been together for 40 years, and I think things have to change. So sometimes he's the protector or the provider, sometimes I am. Really depends on what you're going through at the time.
That's a really nice answer. You kind of took the sting out of what I was going to say.
All right.
I was going to say when because your husband's probably a Glasgow Rangers fan, and I was going to say when the Celtic thugs are knocking on the door, you're going to go and say, "Oi, get out of here," or is he? You know what I mean? But all right, you got away from that. Okay, cool, cool, cool. What do you do for hobbies now?
I am very stereotypical, nearly 60-year-old woman. I love knitting. I love crafting. I have recently started with my friend to go to bingo, which is really not me,
Okay.
but it's dead cheap, and we have a good night just sitting chatting. So yeah,
Wow, wow. So
it's really, yeah,
I accompany my wife to the casino a lot, but
cool.
it's more of a date night stuff. I
Right.
don't do. I like roulette, but I'm not a fan of losing money. But
Yes.
there's a nice cheap bar there,
Yes.
so I
Yes.
normally find myself at the bar, and I want to say in my mind, I'm like, if I'm gonna lose any money, this is where I'm gonna lose it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm about. So
Yeah.
bingo. So bingo's like lots of people your own age there, and bingo.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. But it's all done electronically these days. You've got an iPad, and you don't even have to call out or anything. It does it all for you.
okay,
So we
okay.
just let it all tick by and chat
Nice, nice.
and
And
drink.
okay. And what kind of drink? Oh, they got a full bar there and stuff.
They have, yes, yes,
All right. So
yes.
that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I can imagine myself enjoying the bar and just watching the flashing numbers on the old bingo
Yes.
iPad. You know, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. When it comes to vacations, what has been your highlight? What do you like doing?
I love a cruise.
Wow.
Love cruises. Love them. My favorite place is actually the Caribbean. I love it.
Okay. Wow.
And it's just everyone's so friendly, and I love Barbados. That's my favorite island out of everywhere we've been.
Wow. Wow. So you fly to Miami and then do one of those cruises, yeah?
Or we fly to we've flown to New Orleans before and picked up the cruise ship there,
Uh huh.
or fly direct to Jamaica or Barbados and pick them
Okay.
up from there.
Okay, nice, nice. I've been to Barbados a couple of times. I really like Barbados. What I noticed a lot there compared to a lot of islands I've been to is the level of literacy is really high there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
education's obviously
yeah,
been paramount to
yeah.
their existence. So no, that's been pretty cool. What? So do you know Lawrence Gap? Is it Lawrence Gap? It's called. It's like a hip street in Bridgetown. Bridgetown's the capital, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a strip that all the bars are and it's just one because it's a really little island, you know. So
It is. Yeah.
did you guys rent one of those mokes? Is it a moke like a little mini? They got these little cars that you can drive around. You didn't try that?
No, no, we've never done that. We've done lazing on the beach, beautiful beaches. Gone out on like a catamaran to
Okay,
do some snorkeling, things like that.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. What about European vacations? Nope.
Yeah, yeah. I love Italy. Absolutely amazing place. We go to France a lot because my son-in-law works in the south of France. He's sort of,
Okay.
home for 6 weeks, whatever, away for 6 weeks. So we go out there to see him and take my daughter out. So that, yeah, we do that a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pivot back to Greenhithe. So, what was really nice about Greenhithe for you, and what wasn't so nice?
It wasn't so nice. I was very young and away from my family and my friends. I
Uh huh.
found that very, very hard. Not having girls to talk to. It was all boys. Um, but the good thing was I really got my independence. I just did my own thing. And from such a young age, I just became really independent, knew exactly what I wanted to do. And yeah, did it really.
And what was your first rotation? I think we called it rotation. Was it with the? Were you at Thornton Heath? Where did you go
Yeah,
first?
yeah. I went to Thornton Heath first, yeah, and PRs, yeah.
PRs, personal
Yeah.
radios. Okay,
Yes,
I think
yes,
mine was with the alarms.
yes.
Intruder alarms. Okay, okay, and that was pretty good. So how did you pivot from that career to what you're doing now?
So I took voluntary redundancy from the police when I was pregnant with Georgina. And then we moved out of London to Berkshire. And when she was probably about two-ish. Yeah, we moved when she was two. And I decided to go back to work, and I went to work for Ericsson Engineering. Hated every minute of it. Absolutely hated it. The long hours, the traveling, being away from the kids. I was made redundant from that about 9 months later. And then I just sort of did a little job in the local village, just in an office. And then we moved to Scotland the following year. And when we moved up here, I was bored out of my brain because the kids were both at school and I had nothing to do. So I thought I would go back to university and try and do a different career. I got the prospectus from the local university and I was just looking through, and I happened to have the qualifications to do radiography.
Okay.
So I applied and I got in.
Okay. And you
Really
enjoying that?
I absolutely love it. The best thing I've ever done. Love
Is
it.
it because when the women come in, you can have a nice little natter with them, or is it
Absolutely.
women, men, everybody comes in?
Everybody comes in. You've got the children coming in, the grandparents, everybody. And I just love, I don't know if it's a sympathizing with the women, because you're not really sympathizing because they're pregnant. I'm not.
Right.
But being able to listen to what they say. And I've been through, obviously I've had 2 babies, but I've had some miscarriages. So you sort of feel like you've got a bit of experience with that behind you. My first delivery when I had Gavin was horrendous. My second one was really easy. So you can sort of use your experience to talk them through things. And I quite like that. It's sort of, maybe it's just me talking about me. I don't know.
No. Well, hey, it's good that you're reflective like that. You thought about, hey, it could be just me having, cool. Hey, are you religious, and how does religion help you in your life, if you are?
Yes, I am. I was brought up in a Christian house. We went to church every Sunday. When the children were born, when Lindsay and I got married, we continued to go to church. I haven't been to church in years, though, just because I didn't like the church we were in. There was not a good church around, things like that. Everything was changing. But yeah, it's still a big part of my life. Still a big part of my life. Yeah.
Do
I'm not
you?
somebody who forces it on anybody.
Right. What do you think happens to us when we die?
Cool. I believe that if you believe in Jesus Christ, you will go to heaven. If you don't, you won't. Simple as that.
And what's the nice thing about going to heaven?
The nice thing, did you say?
Yeah.
Well, I think heaven. Oh God, what's heaven?
Hey, can I say something? This is really authentic. You see what I mean? Because hey, you're thinking about something about. No one's ever told me what it's like. So
You don't want to be too controversial here.
okay.
So I don't think heaven is. I used to have this image of heaven, obviously from the Bible. It says paved with gold, the streets and things. So to me, when I was a kid, it was basically my hometown with gold streets, and you would just carry on doing your own life, but the streets were gold. Very simple. I think it's different for everybody now, and I don't know. I know we're going to be worshiping God all the time, but my dad, who he died about 3-4 years ago, he was a really, really good Christian man. And he said he cannot think of anything more boring than just spending the rest of eternity just worshiping God. And that really hit me. And I thought, but that's what we're supposed to do. So I then started to think, is it maybe just more of a life like this, but with love and kindness and goodness just all around us? And no wrong, no guilt. I don't know. Very, very hard to explain.
I think the pain will all be over, and we will just
Absolutely.
be done. We will just be done. It'll be. I think it's like the plug getting pulled. It's over.
See, I don't want to think like that. I want to think that I'm going to see my parents again. I'll see Lindsay again.
When you see, and I'm going to walk you through this, and please have fun with me because Roger's a little bit deep like this. When you see your parents and Lindsay again, what age will you be? Do you think would you like to see them as a 16-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 29-year-old? What age do you think they'll be, and what age will you be?
See, this is where I get a little bit deep as well. I don't think we will have an age. I think we will just be. Because the thought of me being this age with a scraggy neck and lines and too much cellulite, I would much rather be a nice 21-year-old when I was slimmer, didn't have wrinkles. But then that would be weird seeing your mother as that age when I'm her daughter.
Yeah, true,
You
true,
know?
true.
So I kind of think it will be more, we're not really an age, we're more just there, a being, but not a ghost.
Well, all right, all right. What do you think when you think of the future? Are you pretty hopeful for your grandchildren, your kids?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably as hopeful for them as I was for me. I know the world is changing. I'm not convinced it's changing any differently to when my parents had me or when their parents had them, because things are moving. You know, you think 100 years ago, we didn't really have um, phones. Well, I know it had been invented, but it wasn't
Like it
like
is
it is.
now.
I think the changes will happen anyway, but I don't think it's any worse than what it would have been when my parents were hopeful for me. So I am still as hopeful for my grandchildren as I was for me when I was younger,
Cool.
I
When
think.
I had the fortune of visiting Leighton, Walthamstow, probably 2 years ago for a week, and I could not wrap my head around the amount of people, the amount of traffic. Some may
Mhm.
call it bustling. The roads were filthy. I don't know if I remember. I don't remember Walthamstow and Leighton being that rough as it is. Is it because I've lived somewhere else, or are things changing in the UK?
I think part of it is because you've lived somewhere else as well. But definitely things are changing. We've got a lot more people in the UK than we had when we were younger. I seem to remember when I was sort of leaving school, there was about 55 million in the UK. I think it's 76 million now. And that's a lot in like 40 years. I think that's a lot of people.
Wow, wow. I
But
don't
I
know.
live in Scotland. We have a lot of open spaces, so it's not, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, but it's not the open spaces. It's cold as
Oh.
hell. So you guys are pretty lucky. You could be really selective, you know. Yeah, yeah, bloody undesirables up in that cold. They'll be like, no, thank you. Let me get back down to the south, you know. Wow, wow, wow. So, so you are hopeful. So when you were younger, Helen, who sort of was your guiding hand? Who at school sort of inspired you to do engineering, or when you said you wanted to do engineering, they said, "Hey, yeah, you know, it'll be really good for you. You know, being a woman as well, you could climb pretty high because you're a woman as well."
Yeah.
Who sort of guided you then?
I think it would have been my dad, to be honest. My parents never put labels on us, never said, you can't do this because you're a girl, you can't do this because you're a boy. It was always, if that's what you want to do it. And my dad always said, if you're going to do something, you do it to the best of your ability, otherwise, there's no point. Don't necessarily agree with that, but that's the way it was when we were younger. So they encouraged me all the way. And really, they didn't push me because I don't think they were like that. It was more, if that's what you want to do, you do it your own way, but we'll help you. So I would say it was my parents more than anything really sort of guided me with that. There wasn't anyone at school that I remember.
Right. Okay. And that's really good as well, because at least it came from the house of people that
Yeah.
have your best interests at heart that were guiding you. What if so your parents knew exactly what you were doing for a living, they knew what the
Yes.
program was about.
Yes.
What if I told you my parents probably up until this day don't know what I do for a living or have done for a living? And I don't, as far as that program was concerned, they had no clue what was going on. It just goes to show different strokes, different folks, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
because I was the youngest in the family, you know, once you go through the other kids doing their stuff, the last one's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were probably tired, but No one knew what the hell I was, what Roger was up to. You know, they
Yeah, but
just knew I wasn't at home.
yeah,
Mm.
my dad was very into electronics.
Wow, that's
He was
cool.
always fixing things. You know, there was always like a washing machine sitting on the table and he was fixing it,
Wow.
or a TV or something. Anything broke, my dad would fix it all the time. So there was always that going on. My mum was a teacher, so she didn't really have that interest.
Right.
But there was always something. My mum used to say that my dad always had a motorbike in the kitchen when they first got married. There's always bits of it in the kitchen here than everywhere. So he was always fixing things. So I think it came from that. So he knew a bit of what I was doing, and he taught me how to wire a plug, all things like that.
Do you remember your first salary? What it was? I remember.
I I think I got £280 the
Oh, I
first month.
remember that. I remember the yearly.
I think it was 5435, maybe something
Wow,
like that.
you guys are good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just about to say $5,400 a year, pounds a year.
Yeah,
Wow,
I was on
wow.
slightly less because I was younger,
So what do
which
you
I
think?
never
What did you do
appreciated.
with it?
I spent it on clothes and shoes.
Oh, I think I pissed mine up all. I think mine was cars, petrol cars, and beer.
I was too young. I was only 16. I couldn't drive. I wasn't allowed to
Okay.
drink.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wow.
I spent it on shoes and in Benetton on their jumpers. I remember that.
Wow, wow. Benetton was around. Yeah. Oh, yes, they were.
Yeah. You
Gosh.
used to have to go up to Oxford Street for it, but it was good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, weekends, what did you do? Do you remember what it was like at Greenhithe when we stayed? It was boring as hell. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
it was boring. Yes,
Because
yes.
everyone
Absolutely
left
awful.
and the town, there
Yeah.
was what, two pubs?
Yeah. There was the two pubs, and if you went into Dartford, there was the nightclub and a cinema. And that was about it.
Wow. And the two pubs in Greenhithe, I don't think any young people were in there. They were all
No, it
older
was just
people.
us.
It was
Yeah.
older
Yeah, it was just
people.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Us and the
Wow.
oldies.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Greenhithe. Have you driven there at all or looked around?
Yeah, yeah, we went back not so long ago actually, and it's all built up. You've now got the Blue Water shopping centre and Lakeside, all of that. So it's all housing now.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
quite sad, really.
True, true, because it was a nice little village, wasn't it?
It was,
You'd
yes,
come off
yeah,
that little train and it'll be all
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So Helen, when you're going through a real tough time, whatever it is, what do you use to soothe yourself? Just you.
Just me on my own.
When you when
Um,
you
I,
when you when you're sitting down and you're just you know you just watch Coronation Street and it's really really sad. You know how bloody EastEnders and Coronation Street could
yeah,
drag you
yeah,
down every now and again.
yeah.
Because we all go through these things. What do you do?
I cry a lot of crying, um, and I read a lot, sort of escapism. Not the books I read are your typical chick lit. They're real, they're easy reading. You could read one in a night. Just escapism.
What is it like? The World is Full of Married Men by Jackie Collins or something different?
No, I'm not even that raunchy. It's all 50-something-year-olds who suddenly find themselves single, and what do they do now? And they go off, find a rich man somewhere. So that type of thing.
Right, 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 right. Jackie Collins was good for that actually. She was
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I'm more of I'll have a couple of rums. But I don't know, as you get older, what I do for myself, I always think to myself, this pain, whatever I'm feeling or I'm going through, is going to be over soon. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I just can't drag myself down that
yeah.
much. You know what I mean?
I've done that, dragged myself down, and it's not good.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
good.
yeah. And sometimes you have to stay positive and strong for those around you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
very hard. That is
yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah. Understanding your situation with looking after your husband and stuff, I can imagine that every now and again, your thoughts wander and stuff. So have you got like good friends? The kids are very supportive.
Yeah, the kids are supportive, but obviously they don't really want to talk about things going forward. But Georgina's great to let me just vent off if he's, because he really annoys me sometimes still, even though he's ill. Sometimes I could really, anyway. So she's good for me to vent. Yeah.
Right.
So she's very good at me venting that way. My sister's very good. She'll always listen. And my friend Barbara, she's great at listening. So they get all of that. Georgina, Gavin doesn't really want to hear any of it, to be honest. Georgina doesn't want me to talk about the future, which I can understand. And I do find that difficult to talk to anybody about it because I don't want to be judged. Because people, but Barbara's great. She'll listen to me.
I listen to you too, but I will say this to you. We're all going on this journey, some sooner than others, yeah?
Yeah.
And what's weird, sometimes the timing isn't like we think it is. Okay?
I know.
So sometimes someone's thinking, we're thinking, Liverpool are going to win the league, and in the end, Arsenal win the league, and we're like, how did that happen? So my point is, in Jamaica, we have a saying, the actual words is, man no dead, no call him duppy. If a guy isn't dead, don't call him a ghost. And what it means is, who knows what tomorrow's going to bring?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And for me, when I spoke to Lindsay, I kind of had that view of, it's not as though you're doing or going somewhere that all of us aren't going.
Yeah.
And who controls the timing? Who knows? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I don't go to doctors as much as I used to. Guess why? I crowdsource everything on bloody Chat GPT. I've got a little agent, and I say, my name's Roger. I'm blah 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 years old. I like a drink, and I'm feeling a pain under my arm. And he says, oh, your bloody pancreas is probably swollen because you drink too much. Cut down, you bastard, or something like that. But I always wonder, how the hell can my general practitioner be as good as all of this data that we can pick up from artificial intelligent agents? There's no competition. And I can see lawyers, doctors, all of these bloody professions. They're going to be as good as bloody paint strippers soon. Honestly, I know it sounds bad, but really, I think until the humanoid robots can do plumbing and stuff like that, we're going to be sitting around smoking cigarettes. And watch. We'll be like, look at that bloody stupid robot. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're all going to have one in our house. Not us, but
absolutely
the kids and stuff. Cool. So, who from college do you still talk to regularly?
Regularly, Tony Winters. Andy McLaren and his wife come up a couple of weeks ago to see us, which was really nice. Cool. I get the odd text from Tim and his wife.
Okay. Tim Smalley.
Tim Smalley. Smalley, yeah. And Kieran occasionally, Kieran Walsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the only people. Okay.
They're the only ones regularly.
Name the others in the group. I'm just trying to see cognitively if you're still here.
So, it was me, you, Lindsay, Tim Smalley, Kieran Walsh, Tony Winters, Dominic Oskis, Chris Skelton, Mark Mullins.
Wow.
Paul Warwicker.
Yep.
Trying to think who played with who, if that makes sense.
Wow.
There was another 5.
For real?
Yeah, Andy somebody who came in the second year, I think.
Okay, I don't remember him.
I can't remember the others offhand.
Do you remember Simon Rogers?
Yes.
I know I worked with Simon, but I can't remember. Was there ever a younger group of Met people with us? Because I was just remembering that Simon Rogers went through that same program, but I can't remember where I think I worked with him, but I can't remember where.
I think he was a year or two above us. I think from what I remember, in the January, there was always two groups at the college. So there
Okay.
was the one above us. So the following January, we were the one above, and then one come in after.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think it was always like that. So
All right. Simon Rogers, he was a ginger fellow. Are we able to say ginger? Redhead. Okay.
Ginger, my daughter's Ginger. So yeah,
Okay.
carry
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. 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 He was
Yeah.
and he was known to be on Jim will Fix It.
Was
So
he? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. He was on Jim will Fix It, and
Oh,
so on Facebook we always used to have a lot of fun with him. When
oh my
Jimmy
goodness.
Savile got done.
Oh,
Because
poor guy.
but he was on Jim will Fix It as I'm gonna say like a 7 or 8 year old. I think he went to India to make tea or something as a
I
youngster.
remember that episode.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that
yeah,
him?
yeah. That was Simon.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember that
yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was so
Wow.
funny remembering all that sort of stuff. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's really, really good to catch up. I just think to myself sometimes, Helen, we don't after a while we stop competing for jobs, spouses, and all of this sort of stuff. And I think
Yeah.
it's always good that we can reflect and talk about the aches and pains and our journey behind us and our journey in front. As far as I'm concerned, I just want to make sure cognitively I stay sharp as I can,
Yes.
because
Yes.
obviously the body's going to go, but the worst
Yeah.
thing for me is I don't want to be that guy whose body's as strong as an ox and I don't even know, my
Yeah.
family from a lampshade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to, yeah, because, and at the end of the day, we're all going to go, and I don't want to suffer. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I tell everyone I wanna be on the way to work and boom, it's over, or coming away from, because I don't look forward to gardening at home or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's not me. That's not me. Cool, cool, cool. So what's the rest of the day got for you? And will you go to church tomorrow?
I won't go to church tomorrow now. The rest of the day, my daughter and my friend Barbara and her daughter, we're going to an ABBA tribute night bingo.
Okay, okay.
I have
And
no
you were,
idea what that's going to
and
do.
you were, if I remember rightly, you had a group that you followed that you really like.
Take that.
Yeah, they were like a boy band.
Yeah, yeah. They're now in
Yeah,
their 50s, but yeah.
yeah. Name them, because some of them must have gone solo that I would have remembered.
Robbie Williams, he was in it
Okay.
originally. You must know him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Gary Barlow, he's my favourite. I love
Uh-huh.
him.
Uh-huh.
Howard, what's his surname? I've forgotten his surname. Um,
Hey,
Jason
and that's
left
okay. That's okay for you to miss
and
the
Mark
surnames
Owen.
every now and again.
His surname. That's really strange.
Uh-huh.
Howard Donald, that's it.
There you go. You got it. You got it. You got
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You're still
yeah.
pretty sharp, Helen. You're still pretty sharp. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Helen, I really appreciate you taking the time having a chat with me.
It's been lovely.
After so many bloody years, we're talking about, what were we talking about? 40 years now?
Yeah, over 40 years, yeah.
Jeez, jeez. It
Yeah.
makes me feel
You haven't
so
changed
young.
a bit.
Yeah, no, I grew my hair. No. I'm trying to. Hey, I look at the bags under my eyes, but I don't. Sometimes I sleep really well, and sometimes I don't. When
Yeah,
you have a couple, I had about 3 Guineas last night, and I was up in peeing a couple of times. I didn't like that,
yeah.
but when I drink rum, I don't have that problem because it
I'm
knocks me out
exactly the
properly.
same, yeah.
Yeah,
Have a
yeah,
glass of wine, I don't get up, a cup of tea, and I'm up all night.
yeah. Yeah. Or you could put special boxes on. That saves that. Saves that. Yeah. Okay. All right, Helen. You have a good rest of the day. Really, thanks for meeting and hanging out with me. It's 10:45 my time. If you could see, I've still got a little bit of sleep. I'm gonna have another coffee to keep awake because
Absolutely.
last night I was up. So hey, take care of yourself and give Lindsay my best. Okay.
Thanks ever so much, Roger. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you too.